This is an excerpt of the book Law, Legislation, and Liberty, from 1973, written by the Nobel laureate economist F.A. Hayek. Cosmos and Taxes. In society, reliance on spontaneous order both extends and limits our powers of control. Since a spontaneous order results from the individual elements adapting themselves to circumstances which directly affect only some of them, and which in their totality need not be known to anyone, it may extend to circumstances so complex that no mind can comprehend them all. Consequently, the concept becomes particularly important when we turn from mechanical to such more highly organized, or essentially complex phenomena as we encounter in the realms of life, mind, and society. Here we have to deal with grown structures with a degree of complexity, which they have assumed and could assume only because they were produced by spontaneous ordering forces. They, in consequence, present us with peculiar difficulties in our effort to explain them as well as in any attempt to influence their character. Since we can know at most the rules observed by the elements of various kinds of which the structures are made up, but not all the individual elements and never all the particular circumstances in which each of them is placed, our knowledge will be restricted to the general character of the order which will form itself. And even where, as is true of a society of human beings, we may be in a position to alter at least some of the rules of conduct which the elements obey, we shall thereby be able to influence only the general character and not the detail of the resulting order. This means that, though the use of spontaneous ordering forces enables us to induce the formation of an order of such a degree of complexity as we could never master intellectually, or deliberately arrange, we will have less power over the details of such an order than we would of one which we produce by arrangement. In the case of spontaneous orders, we may, by determining some of the factors which shape them, determine their abstract features, but we will have to leave the particulars to circumstances which we do not know. Thus, by relying on the spontaneously ordering forces, we can extend the scope or range of the order which we may induce to form, precisely because its particular manifestation will depend on many more circumstances than can be known to us, and, in the case of a social order, because such an order will utilize the separate knowledge of all its several members, without this knowledge ever being concentrated in a single mind, or being subject to those processes of deliberate coordination and adaptation which a mind performs. In consequence, the degree of power of control over the extended and more complex order will be much smaller than that which we can exercise over a made order, or taxes. There will be many aspects of it over which we will possess no control at all, or which at least we shall not be able to alter without interfering with the forces producing the spontaneous order. Any desire we may have concerning the particular position of individual elements, or the relation between particular individuals or groups, could not be satisfied without upsetting the overall order. The kind of power which, in this respect, we would possess over a concrete arrangement or taxes, we would not have over a spontaneous order where we would know, and be able to influence, only the abstract aspects. It is important to note here that there are two different respects in which order may be a matter of degree. How well ordered a set of objects or events is depends on how many of the attributes of, or the relations between the elements we can learn to predict. Different orders may, in this respect, differ from each other in either or both of two ways. The orderliness may concern only very few relations between the elements, or a great many, and, second, the regularity thus defined, may be great in the sense that it will be confirmed by all, or nearly all instances, or it may be found to prevail only in a majority of the instances, and thus allow us to predict its occurrence only with a certain degree of probability. In the first instance, we may predict only a few of the features of the resulting structure, but do so with great confidence. Such an order would be limited, but may still be perfect. In the second instance, we shall be able to predict much more, but with only a fair degree of certainty. The knowledge of the existence of an order will, however, still be useful, even if this order is restricted in either or both these respects, and the reliance on spontaneously ordering forces may be preferable, or even indispensable, although the order towards which a system tends will, in fact, be only more or less imperfectly approached. The market order, in particular, will regularly secure only a certain probability that the expected relations will prevail, but it is Nevertheless, the only way in which so many activities depending on dispersed knowledge can be effectively integrated into a single order. The end.